Now then, welcome to the Dragon's Flow Special, Punisher Edition.
Ooh. Punisher.
So what we're going to do here is, usually with a show like this, you just kind of binge it, then we talk about it after it. But instead, we're going to go episode by episode and say what we think of the last episode and what we think is going to happen.
Why this show in particular, T-Man?
Because I have been a Punisher fan for a really long time. I have many of the comics. It's about the only comics from those people that I read. And it's just...
Those people.
And it's just one of those things where I obsess over it. And so I'm going to be judging this from a fanboy perspective.
How many Punisher shirts do you own?
I
think that's the answer.
The percentage is the
that many. You have to think about it.
The percentage is the impressive number, not the number itself.
The most at one time was 4.
He owns like 6 shirts.
How many? What percent? What's the non-Punisher shirt to Punisher shirt ratio?
I just gave away like 10 clothes to donations, so it's kind of skewed now. One of my Punisher shirts is ripped. So, yeah. Alright. So, what do you guys think is going to be like to watch this show?
Well, my most curious thing is who will be like the main enemy, because it's not going to be the Hand, which was all the other Marvel Netflix shows, because he wasn't in the Defenders.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, his style anyway, so it'll probably be gangs, and, I'm not really sure what the specifics are.
And anytime they reference Punisher Max, which is, in my opinion, the Punisher comics.
Yeah, and I've read a few of yours that were sitting around, and those are all really good.
Mm-hmm. I've looked at some of the ones they did after Punisher Max, and it's kind of garbage. And they still try and, inject SJW stuff into the fucking Punisher. And it's really obnoxious, and you can kind of tell they don't care.
Was this was way after the one where the Punisher had to go undercover as a black guy, right?
Like
in the 80s or something?
Those issues, was those before or after? No, those were after Punisher Max.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't.
I thought that was really old.
It wasn't undercover as a black guy. It was the opposite. He went undercover as a white supremacist.
He's always been a black guy in disguise.
He came out.
An example of
I've been faking it the entire time.
An example of how they managed to just fuck up his character in these SJW pieces of crap is he ended up basically beating an innocent person to death because he got swept up in the moment. And to get an example of how it works in Punisher Max, they tricked him into thinking he killed an innocent person. He was about to blow his head off because of it. And then he realized, oh wait, no, actually that's not what happened.
That's actually what I'm most curious about seeing, is from a character standpoint, the Punisher's unique. And I want to see how much they're going to play the angle of like in the Batman series, they made him as realistic as they could make him. And they did this by making him as accessible to the average person as possible. As close as we can get to being, we can imagine having billions of dollars, and they sort of took away certain things and then added a couple other things. And so I want to see how much they make him into a broken human being with training, versus how much they make him into the old school Punisher.
My expectations are actually not too high at the moment for this show because of 2 reasons. One, I'm actually not too much of a fan of how Shane is doing the Punisher. The Punisher is supposed to be cold and calculating, with no real emotion, where nobody can tell what he's thinking.
Yeah, he's literally a psychopath in this.
Yeah, he's just like, no, I'm Shane, or something along those lines. I can't think of him as anything else. And 2, Netflix kind of did this more or less on a whim, so I'm hoping they don't mess it up because of that.
What made the show?
Yeah, because they were not going to do a Punisher series, but then he was so liked in Daredevil, it's like, okay, let's do it.
I think
you mean Punisher season 0?
Yeah.
I think that's the best the best chance for it to go well, because if they cared about it, they would just strangle it to death because they have their hand in everything. Mm-hmm. Versus this, they're like, yeah, we gotta do it. Who wants to do it? And one guy's like, me.
Right.
Me.
Me or else.
So, we're going to be enjoying some pizza, some root beer, and let's get on with the show. Okay, so expectations were raised. Somebody else, go first before I fanboy.
That was a very good first scene.
Yeah, the first scene was quite something. I think all of us completely loved the sniper shot.
Yeah.
Just boom, and nothing was happening. Did it freeze? Nope, it didn't freeze.
Okay, my favorite part about that was the pacing. It was predictable until the shot. Like, it's like, okay, he's going upstairs, there's girls, okay, she's gonna go underneath, below the sniper rifle, and then he's gonna shoot him in the head. And then you hear gunfire, and nothing happens, and it's just like, oh, well that, boom, his head explodes! Like, holy shit!
I think that's the first time that, like, the shot delay has ever been actually shown in any kind of media.
I don't recall any scenes like that myself. It's beautiful.
That was a heck of a shot.
Yeah.
Dead center.
Alright, so mission accomplished. End of the series. Good job.
Oh, man. So, they originally were saying that they were going to do a Punisher origin for the first season, but I guess they're doing the exact opposite of Punisher when he's
that was
done.
Punisher Season 0.
The pretend it doesn't exist.
It's the pilot?
Huh?
That was the pilot?
Daredevil 2.
Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
So many nice little things to mention. Shane's doing much better this time around, I think, than in the actual Daredevil. He's not screaming as much. He's not, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm a Shane. Just, he actually feels like how the Punisher should feel in these couple of months since everything.
Like he's having nightmares of his wife every night?
Yeah.
Kind of like that?
Like nightmares of his wife. He's staying quiet. He's staying out of the way. He just doesn't care about anything else.
Yeah, a lot of the times that these sort of characters are done wrong is, like, for instance, he has the same vision of his wife every morning, but he stops at different parts of the vision. And so some days you see him, he wakes up and, you see he's kind of sad because he had his wife there for a second. Mm-hmm. And then one day he sleeps in literally like 30 seconds longer and she gets shot in the head. And then he has this like violent just, moment, Mm-hmm. So, what they're doing really, really well is the variability. Almost every time I've seen it done wrong, they're always upset, they're always violent, they're always blank. And
it's always the same reaction every single
yes,
time.
And consistency is good with mediocrity, not with a character like the Punisher.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Punisher is... He seems really simplistic, but you get complications out of that simplicity. It's a way which you can only understand if you actually read the comics, but I feel like they're making it come out really well in the screen.
So far.
So now he's just a hobo.
Now he's just a hobo.
That was completely unexpected.
Yeah, and that's expected to go that direction. So there's a lot of characters they're introducing, which I'm wondering if they're paying homages or if they're from different series I didn't read. For example, the Man-Woman Detective Squad. Mike, I think was his name. I don't
remember.
Yeah. But he reminds me a lot of Detective Soap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they might be paying homage to that. Soap, if anyone saw Warzone, he was in that. He was also in pre-Punisher Max comics. His basic gist was, he's basically a giant loser who was put on the Punisher Task Force. And eventually began working with them.
Punisher, you need to pay your taxes. I mean, all these guns and weapons and explosives you bought, like, they're really expensive.
We're up to 20 grand.
We haven't seen a single cent of that going towards the government.
So I'm wondering if that's going to be Soap and whoever his female partner was, or if the female partner is going to be in the Punisher Max, dang pizza, she was basically like a semi-love interest for the Punisher.
Oh, please no.
But they made it work because she really wanted to fuck him, but he didn't care, so he did it anyway.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And
wait, he did it anyway?
Yeah. For example, one
For just like, okay, here, now go away.
pretty much the opening's of one of the chapters. They were in Afghanistan, and she asks him, "You cold? No. You lonely? No. Want to jump my bones anyway?" He puts down his soup. Sure.
I'm not going to feel any less.
Yeah, it's like I told myself this wasn't going to happen, but that was yesterday. That was his line. And then eventually she died, and he's like, I was just starting to like her, as he came face to face with the person who basically caused her to die. So I wonder if they're going to play with her.
That would make a lot of the ways they cut away from her and to him and vice versa make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's a Netflix series. It needs a love story.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then the guy with the goatee, he looks like one of the recurring villains in Punisher Max.
The guy with the boss?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The boss.
That makes sense.
The boss of that lady we were just talking about.
And he's a dick.
Yeah, it was kind of implied that he was trying to cover up something.
Actually, I guess the main overarching storyline of Punisher Max is basically the government is out to get Castle because...
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Because he knows something.
He's my main criticism of episode 1. Like, a lot of the other stuff was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Their interaction didn't feel like a human interaction. It was
like he was too archetypal.
He's just like, I'm a bad guy, and I'm also sexist. You have tits. I mean...
Yeah, it was a little bit over the top. But at the very least, he's got the goatee. That's the only connection. Oh, and he's a dick. Those are the only connections I have right now. Oh, wait. Well, and they were also ex-wives. The lady I was talking about before and the bad guy. They were ex-husband and wife. Yeah. They got married, and on their honeymoon, he threw her off a plane.
Oh, that is
you're talking about not in this.
Not the show, the comics. Yeah, because he was smuggling cocaine and he needed to lighten the load. So instead of lighting the cocaine, he threw it off a plane somewhere in the midst of Afghanistan.
And the case that they were working on involved heroin trafficking, I think.
Yes.
So that's another common thing in Afghanistan. And the case that it also somehow involved Frank and other mystery person who died simultaneously and were connected somehow.
Yes.
So it seems like that's going to be the thing that connects them, and probably at least an overarching arc for the first few episodes at least.
Yeah, I vaguely remember what they had in the trailer. They had a lot more military stuff. So I'm thinking they're going to go down that angle of the military did some bad stuff, Frank knows something about it, and he's got to take down these corrupt government official people.
That makes sense. They also, as you guys were talking, it occurred to me that they did a good job highlighting his superpower, which is marksmanship. Like, with the sheer delay, it's like, how long did that bullet... What? And then, when he was doing the chase scene, he just put his, shotgun out the window and took out two guys. And then, everyone else was a little bit more realistic. Like, the bullets were firing but missing. Mm-hmm. And, he took out a whole boatload of people in the dark,
that reminds me, they said the Nucci's was the family that, the mob family.
Yeah.
Though they were the bad guys in the previous from Max Punisher series. What was it called? I don't even know what it was called. Punisher Universe? Something like that. It was the series that involved Detective Soap and the Russian. So maybe we'll see the Russian.
Yay!
Remember the first Punisher movie?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That was fun. And I'm pretty sure the guy they showed at the end of that was Micro.
I hope so.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
That's what I instantly thought.
Yeah. So the action scenes, that was nice and bloody.
Yeah. Oh, and beyond bloody...
visceral.
Yeah.
I want to know what that song was. That song was just perfect because it was just so chaotic and...
It had a certain
It was minimalistic, but also it was minimalistic metal. I don't know what to call that.
Yeah.
Grinding.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was beautiful. Anything else before we move on to episode 2?
Well, so he didn't want to make friends with that guy, but kind of accidentally ended up doing that.
I just imagine, I want someone to cut something together where before the Punisher does all his stuff, you hear him say, "He gave me a sandwich." Then you see him just go crazy. That's all it takes. Just give the right crazy guy a sandwich, and you're protected for life.
Life lessons from the Punisher.
It's like all it takes for was that the Joker? All it takes
the killing
to turn to make a villain is one bad day. It's like all it takes is to make the Punisher a friend is one good sandwich.
They played the scene of that young guy. What was his name again?
Donnie.
Donnie, yeah. Of him being just like really frantic. Him being really frantic during the whole
grabbing the money.
Yeah. What was it? Like Baba Louie? Like really random stupid line before he went in.
That was weird, yeah.
That was bad. You should cut that out.
But the franticness during when he was grabbing the money, after, because he didn't like plan that day to do a robbery. Yeah. He was told like at 2 p.m. that 6 p.m. we're going to take out a mafia thing.
It wasn't even that. It was just like, hey, we're going to do a thing.
Yeah, it might be a little illegal. You up for it? Yeah, I can do it. What are we doing? Smuggling booze?
Something they did well was they in seeing them before the car, they all had different tools. And then they put their masks on. Mm-hmm. That was so it made it pretty easy to distinguish who was who. Besides the actors who adopted different body postures, I thought that was pretty nice. It was a little bit less obvious than if anyone saw. Well, everyone should have seen the first Star Wars movie that came out was The Force Awakens. At the beginning, you know which stormtrooper you're following because there was like a bloody handprint left on him. That was really obvious to the point of almost breaking the fourth wall. This was natural. I thought, besides let's get Baba Louie.
Yeah.
Everything else was pretty, that's about right.
Yeah, they avoided main character helmet syndrome, where main characters can't wear helmets.
Yeah.
I was watching Luke Cage last week, and I have no idea why they did this, but the three characters go into basically kind of the same deal, but a little more dangerous. And they take they're wearing ski masks, and they all take their ski masks off, like, in the middle of the shootout. And it's like, okay, we know who you are now. Like, you know, obviously to show off which character is which, but it's also like, guys, you have the ski masks for a reason. You could have shown off who you were in a number of different ways.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was fairly organic.
Yeah, it was.
And in case you didn't get it, Donnie freaking drops his stupid driver's license. Jesus, get a better wallet.
Well, they did something which I felt was plausible.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, oh, come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Donnie Sambino, get over... Oh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
None of those platinum jutsus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I don't think
so. Right.
So.
Next up, episode number dos, which is 2 in French. Okay, we just got done with episode 2, and it was getting kind of convoluted at the end. I felt like they were just kind of killing time with all that.
Which part?
Just all of the things were like leading Micro on, and then eventually him popping out in the trunk. It seemed to carry on for a while. I was getting a little bit bored.
Well, I can understand him not immediately trusting Micro, but yeah, it was like, it seemed like a bit of filler.
Mm-hmm. I knew he was going to have him go somewhere different first. For the reason I thought that he'd get his car. Like, okay, that's the thing. I don't know what the point of the other 2 or 3 was. Like, besides just being a dick?
I guess.
I'm going to waste your gas.
Time, I guess.
Uh-huh. Other than that, episode was pretty decent. I think a bit of a step down from the first episode.
I like Micro.
Uh-huh. Playing him a little bit differently.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about him.
No, they haven't done enough with him yet.
Yeah. Well, he seems like a kind of crazy guy living in a little tinfoil hat
Kind of, but that's part of what I like about him is that they didn't make him just like an incompetent guy with guns. They made him a smart guy that knows when to shoot. First of all, knows that he might have to shoot, so he like brings his gun, you know, and it's not like you can see they sort of line it up so you can see he's lined up his shot, so he could do stuff, but he chooses not to pull the trigger. And there's an implied like, you know, he really wants Castle. And they're doing a lot of character building in what he is doing versus what he's not doing.
Castle got a little bit further in with the plot of figuring out who Micro was and why he was doing all his stuff. And so slowly but surely I feel like there's going to be probably the next episode, some crisscrossing of paths between...
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Great touch on the one bullet in his gun.
Yeah, I was expecting that.
Anybody counting bullets is just like, he's got, 10 more.
I was expecting either one or none, or he's got a thing strapped on his back after...
He kneecapped him. And so he had the bullet in there to kneecap him, so it's like, oh, it's a full clip. There's no faking that, and that makes an impression when someone shoots you in the knee. So he's like, oh, I got you now.
Right. Well, when he had the gun in his belt, sure. And like, you could see it was obviously like, he planned that, he was going to be taken.
It was
I was expecting 0 or 1. And then he shot him, I was expecting maybe, like, he would, jump up and aim, he would jump up and grab the gun, and then he'd be like, no, you, and then maybe make it look like a suicide again, or, which, that was great, by the way, we never, none of us thought of that, the gang shootout.
Last one, yeah. As a suicide, it's
murder,
like, oh,
murder,
mwah.
Suicide plot, That was perfect.
Yeah, that was for those watchful. I really loved those sort of details that, I'm sitting there, I'm like, wait a second. Oh yeah, because he used his finger to kill him. Yeah. So that puzzle solving in real time was great. And also, I'm probably the most squeamish out of the three of us, I think. But, the way they set up that interrogation with the boss, jumping back to where he's keeping his gun in the dick. Mm-hmm. If you know the plot, Castle knows he was former military. You know that he knows that he tied him up with a tie.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's suspicious. And then, he put his gun in like the dumbest place and it's just like, but
it's obviously a setup.
Even if you have training in doing that, you being in the hostage situation, being punched repeatedly, being shot in the knee, in pain, all this happening in your house, there is just a whirlwind. So he just guided him every step of the way, just right there. I'm like, oh, yeah, that was, these scenes are just so well composed, which is why I have high hopes for Micro. Like they just, they could have easily done a few things with him, and it seems like they're showing Castle with his competence and, like visceral fight scenes and, just very in your face.
That was a fun fight scene between Wolf and the Punisher.
Yeah, he was really, really, really competent.
Yeah, it was like, I'm not sure how to describe it. It was movie real, as I'm gonna call it from this point. Because usually when movies have those action scenes, they have the consistent shaky camera, and you can kind of tell, like, okay, that's not gonna happen. That's not really the next sequence of what someone's gonna do. Are you kidding me? But here, even though, the chances of something like that happening are really low, it still felt realistic. And they didn't do the goddamn shaky cam that I always see and I hate. Which I absolutely love. Just every action scene of every single TV show movie nowadays. Shake the cam. Oh, you can't see what's happening. You have kind of an idea. It's really obnoxious. But they did that right.
I guess it's a way to cut down on choreography.
Well, that, and it's supposed to put you in the chaos of the moment.
Yeah.
It doesn't for me. For me, just like, I can't see.
Yeah, because you wanna see their moves, which usually don't exist.
Yeah. Right. Overall, this episode was a bit on the slow side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go ahead.
That went from, 45 miles an hour in the first episode to, 25. It was a school zone.
The school zone episode.
Speaking of which, that was a great fake Russian scam artist thing that he pulled to that.
To get hit with that car? Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy Russians. Yeah, that was interesting seeing that little bit of development between everybody. Slowly poking the bigger castle, every time you meet somebody, oh yeah, I have a story you can relate to. Like, my dad died over in Afghanistan, my husband died, and now he's left us alone, now I'm crying. It's like, Punisher, stop meeting people.
That also was a good thing. Him and Micro have kind of like the same background, but Micro is like, I'm going to completely abandon my family to protect them, kinda. But Frank's like, well, no, you left them.
Yeah, but
they're in misery now.
The story though that's seeming to unfold is that Frank probably should have played dead. I can't even remember exactly what they said because it is kind of convoluted, but that his family was killed from some of the things that he knew, so Frank, it was known that Frank knew some stuff and then his family was all murdered because of that, versus Micro kind of saw that coming and was just like, I need to be dead so that they don't come for my family to get to me.
So it seems like the way they're playing this plot is that when Frank was over in Afghanistan, he was involved in something and knew something, and so Wolf and the big bosses had to clean up the mess. And so they killed Frank, another guy, and a bunch of other people to, make it all blend in.
Right.
So it seems like...
The people that they think have morals. Well, so I think they're going to play on the, is it better to have them thinking that you're dead, or is it better to do what Frank did? I think they're going to play with that a bit.
I think they're going to make Frank Castle come out in a big way so everyone knows he's still alive.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. It's just like... I don't know why I was thinking about it, but I thought of the Netflix Death Note movie of Al just kind of going to the media. Hi, I'm Al. Just imagine Punch hi, the Punisher, still around. Gonna go around and shoot some bad guys. See ya. Yep.
Exclusive interview on Punisher TV or something.
Mm-hmm. Also, sometimes the Punisher sounds like Batman. I'm expecting him to just go, what are they? At some point. Alright, let's see what episode 3 has in store for us.
Alright, so the end of episode 4, the T-Man literally just went to masturbate. So little as you know, we started this podcast for episode 4 without him, and it started off the same pace as the last episode, and boy, it things picked up some speed.
Yeah. Lots of backstory.
Mm-hmm. It started off with some nearly well-placed exposition.
Nearly well-placed?
Yeah, it started off okay, I could see them telling the story like this because it was Micro tied to a chair. He's like, it all started, boom! You're all of a sudden in the past. And then you saw things through Castle's eyes, and here comes the T-Man.
Anyway.
Alright, we started.
Where's the Joker?
My favorite scene was, he didn't turn tables, he turned the chair, and he after pushing Michael around, big fanboy again. So I'm all about the behind the characters. That Micro planned out that fucking pen for he planned out, all right, 2-3 days tops of torture, I can take it, and then I'm gonna stab him with the fucking pen.
That'll show him.
And then there are a couple lines that were just delivered. So the most obvious, which was the last line, they die. No trials, they die. And it's just yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So that was just bold-faced. But I loved. For 2 days, he's just I can't do anything about it, Mr. Punisher. I just, it goes, the bombs, they're gonna go off, there's nothing I can do. And then finally he stabs him with the pen, he's like, oh, I turned those off. Man, he's like, really good with insulting, like, I thought I needed you, but you just got taken out by a spook in a chair. We're talking CIA. Oh, man. So... yeah, okay, he was out, so it started off a little bit slow, and then, boy, did it it picked up speed in a hurry.
So it seems like, hopefully, next episode, they're gonna really, bring in the action. Because so far, it's been 2 episodes of pretty mild stuff.
I think there was some action this episode.
No, that was definitely action.
But not progression.
Yes.
Yeah. It was action, that was just like blood porn.
It was... yeah.
Which I am okay with that, which is why it didn't take me too long in the bathroom.
Good description.
Yeah, we started this like the second he got out of the room pretty much, so. Yeah, that was fast. Some action with the point would be nice.
Uh-huh. So it looks like they are definitely going with the, corrupt government officials doing bad things angle, which is what was the main plotline of Punisher Max. Though they're gonna have to bring in a lot of new characters, because at this point, Wolf being dead, I guess they can take out the guy he punched, which, I like the fact that he was having like a little mini siege after he got punched. That was funny.
What is... my tooth. Ow, this hurt.
He hit you in the eye, sir. My eye, I meant.
But it hurt, though. You don't understand.
Yeah, they picked a really good character for that. I mean, he might, for all I know, he was faking. I don't think he was, but he was like kind of a flabby. He just went down. Like, he was all full of himself in a room full of people that, literally took out tens of men each, And then finally he gets hit once and he's just down. Yeah,
that was really satisfying. And I could see it coming like 10 minutes away. Mm-hmm. Another thing that I'm glad that I called it in my head, guy in mask shooting his wife and he pulls it off and it's Mr. Punisher.
No to rewarder, Punisher's twin brother.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Evil twin?
I've got something for you.
Yeah, so any guesses besides new characters?
I don't know which angle they're gonna go with at this point. Now it's a complete mystery.
Yeah, we've kind of re-hit the beginning.
Yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what this new beginning gets us. Hopefully more blood. Okay, so we just finished episode 4. There was a lot of things I'm not too pleased with at the moment.
Really?
Yeah. First thing, they really gotta stop this, pseudo-jealousy angle with Micro's family and the Punisher. It's just getting weird. Not liking it. Also, that car chase scene went on for much longer than it needed to be.
I think it was good, except for when they were playing chicken at the end for, why?
They were measuring penises.
That is really all that scene was.
Yeah. No, but otherwise I thought it was a good car chase.
It was okay, it just it went on too long.
Yeah, well, they weren't exactly doing, tactics, Like, a lot of times, at the beginning, they started it out kind of unique in that, Castle let her get around first. He's like, there's nowhere to go, and so I'm gonna, fishtail. But, it was hard to tell really what was going on at any given point. Eventually he wound up in front of her again, and he did the same thing he did before. But it was mostly just their faces in the middle of the screen, and then the background changing. It was...
Well, that's actually why I liked it, because in a lot of car chase scenes, it's like a foot chase where it's like, oh, there's two guys with a plate glass window, what's gonna happen? Mm-hmm. It's a lot of that kind of obstacle stuff, and this was just they were just chasing each other.
Yeah, well, and there was not a single other car on the road.
Yeah, that's true. There could have been more traffic, that's for sure. Then again, they probably had it cordoned off so that they could do the police stuff. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I mean, it was still fun, high octane ish, but
Yep, there was still plenty of good things in this episode, like the black guy. He was fun
Yeah.
Which one?
in the beginning.
Oh yeah,
Turk,
I
I think
liked
is
him.
his name. He was in Luke Cage.
Yeah, and he was. Well, what's the way I want to put it?
He's kind of like almost a lovable scumbag, but not quite.
He's the
He's
villain
more
that
scumbag
politicians
than-
like to pretend exist a lot.
Yeah.
If you just had another choice, it's like, I didn't do anything to you. They could just get in their guns. It's not on me.
Supply and demand, capitalism, motherfucker.
Yeah. He was just. I mean, he was real. Like he wasn't a bad guy. That was just what made him quirky. He's just like, it's pink guns. On one hand, it's for kids. On the other hand, it's guns.
Hey, I was just selling those guys out. I didn't know that they would go and kill them people.
So finally, in episode 4, Punisher has his guns
And his love interest.
and his.
Which one is that?
The wife.
The wife is the love interest.
Yeah.
There's kind of the wife. There's the blonde reporter girl, and then there's the one that just literally got banged up.
With the blonde?
No, the one that was bleeding out.
Who's the blonde?
The lawyer lady.
Oh.
No, the lawyer
no,
lady
I think
is-
she's just like, oh, you're
No.
still alive and in the universe.
The blonde was kind of like a past flame or something. Like,
She was in Daredevil.
we care about
Yeah,
you.
You didn't see it.
Oh, I didn't see Daredevil.
Yeah. Originally, she thought that Punisher was this crazy psychopath and he was going to kill her, but then she began to realize, no, he's not, and to soften up, and she kind of has a I want to bang everybody type of vibe.
Yeah, you're right.
I believe that.
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah.
Literally everybody.
It's like, fuck. I'm trying to think of non-examples, but I can't.
Not women, that's it. But everybody else.
Yeah.
Kind of surprising, actually, that it's not women.
She would make a good elf. So what else do we have? We had Micro getting his hands dirty. That was...
Yeah. Oh, I did like that line, pissed off beats scared any day. It's like, yeah, man, that's right. That's
Yeah.
Punisher in a nutshell. In almost literal nutshell. And then there was the angsty teen discharged kid.
I'm hoping that's another thing which I'm getting kind of bored with. I'm hoping they do something with this. Like, okay, we get it.
They have, with the country made a large investment in it, and now so did the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like... I think that guy's just gonna kind of go on a rampage, like if Punisher was actually evil... Like he the what were we calling him?
Bizarro?
The helper?
Yeah, Bizarro. Yeah, the not the helper, the
rewarder.
The rewarder. Yeah. He's gonna be the rewarder. No, but actually, he's gonna be the evil Punisher and just like randomly kill a bunch of people who he thinks wronged him. But didn't actually. Like I don't know. He's just gonna go kill all of the
people.
Random people, but also like people that like congressmen who voted for the war or something like that. Like really reaching for things and then not actually getting it. Like at the beginning of this, the Punisher, he's like, okay, my job's done. Everybody that killed my family's dead, so I can burn my little vest.
They gotta bring a damn skull back.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Fuck.
So there was like actual closure, which never happens for the Punisher.
They began like 3 minutes in the show.
Right. And what was really surprising about that is that the point of him, at least in Punisher Max, which is the only comics that I've read, is he's basically on a never-ending journey that it's essentially pointless.
Yes.
Because the Mafia will always have, like, whenever he takes one out, another one will take its place. Mm-hmm. And it's just a pointless, never-ending problem.
Yeah, he says several times, I know this won't end, but that doesn't really matter.
It's like the war on gangs, basically. Mm-hmm. The war on concept will never end.
Yeah. I say Punisher's chaotic are good, anti-Punisher is lawful evil.
Is that an actual thing?
No, he's
No,
not
just-
even lawful evil. He's like neutral. He's kind of a weird neutral evil, but leaning towards chaotic because he's. I'm assuming we're talking about the kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just messed up evil at this point. Just messed up.
The words that they chose to highlight were, the one that stands out is accountable and goons. Those are the ones that he was writing in capital letters in his diary.
Yeah.
He's in the foxhole. So yeah, he's set up to be something. And further than that, the Punisher's friends seem to be making him into something. Like, there was no reason for the one slicky hair back guy for him to treat him quite like that. And they had like a bro moment, like, all right, you do your part, I'll do mine. And so he pushed him into crazy. Like, he's like, yeah, here, you know what? You can be a janitor. You know, and he really, like, everything that he did played into the kid's weaknesses. And, you know, they picked him out, so they're doing something. They're up to something.
Right.
And so who knows what they're trying to make of him.
As long as they eventually tie it in, because it's been 4 episodes and there's been no real tie-in.
They're working their way in, but
slowly.
The pacing for the entire show is weird because sometimes it's like really fast and like whenever I think there's an action scene, I think it's like really good pacing. Like it's hard and quick and exactly what it needs to be.
Giggity.
And like a lot of the times the other scenes are kind of drawn out and other things are just kind of glossed over. It's kind of weird.
It reminds me of the first 4 episodes of Daredevil. I was actually going to quit after episode 4 because it was just so badly paced. But then it got much better after that. So hopefully it'll happen now.
And the last few episodes of Jessica Jones were kind of like that too.
So I think that the Punisher, he's got his guns, and he's going to have an existential crisis and become a blues musician.
Probably. That's probably what's going to happen
next.
That's
my projection for the next 6 episodes.
I agree.
What do you think the Homeland Security lady's going to do now that she knows Frank's alive?
She'll be vocals.
I think she's...
Kind of stay out of his way?
Pretty much.
I don't think so.
I think she's going to do nothing.
She has tied him in with the death of her, love interest, dude. She knows
love interest.
The guy that she's been obsessed with.
Yeah.
The one that we've seen die 3 or 4 times.
The guy who was tortured.
Oh! Her cop friend.
I didn't even know that they were, that was a love interest.
By the way.
Bangy bangy.
Oh, thanks for the clarification. I didn't know that was what a love interest meant.
Just making sure.
By the way, I liked, or I shouldn't say liked, I appreciated, because they played, and they've been doing this throughout the whole this whole series so far, where they give you a scene, and then they play it again with a little bit more, and then they give it to you a third time with extreme detail. So like with the wife, there was just, they kiss, oh hi sleepyhead, then there's kiss, 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 it's 10 a.m., and then there's kiss, 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 bang! Blood. And then with the guy, the cop, there was the black and white just beginnings of him being tortured, and Frank throws the laptop across the room. Like, that's enough. And then you watch the whole scene play out, and then you watch it from Frank's, mostly from Frank's point of view. And, you know, like, you are there in that moment. Like, it doesn't get any more real than that without adding smell or something. They've been doing a really good job with that.
Mm-hmm. So she's not going to let this go. I mean...
Oh, I thought he confessed to killing the cop guy.
He did.
The boss.
The Wolf? Yeah.
He confessed to Wolf, but she's tied him into the other cop. She's been after him for years. Well, she also thought he was dead.
So how...
So it's more of his team.
Oh, so the initial investigation had him linked to that. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, plotline was her love interest got tortured and killed. She began following it, began putting things together. The people over in Afghanistan was like, nope, she notices, send her back. And so she was taken in by Wolf, who was a part of this, like, cabal of evil people. He's like, I'm going to put her on a shit duty. And I'm going to make sure she doesn't do anything. Then he did, so now she's sitting in his chair. And yeah.
Yeah, more than that, she was kind of appeased. So she was in Afghanistan because she's going to make a name for herself.
Right.
And then she started to get places, and they're like, you know what, you've been here long enough, you get promotions. And, alright, and so to the guy above, they're like, just keep her nose out of the thing. Then he dies, and then she gets his spot. You know?
Yeah.
So it really backfired in a big way. Because reasons.
Reasons we may find out. Tune in next episode. Okay, so we just finished episode 5 and things finally managed to pick up a lot more.
Punisher and whatever his name is.
Micro.
Hunter.
The 90s
Gunner.
sitcom.
Pick up some milk. Let's see.
You didn't make me a sandwich? Oh.
It was in the fridge.
Let's see, going all the way back to the beginning. So we had the 2 sexy females having a nice little conversation. Sadly, there was no sex play, at least by that point. We had a nice little tearjerker between Frank and lawyer lady, I always forget her name.
Karen something.
Yes. Who, again, shows that she always has a slight interest in every single male in the show. What other things do we have? So, we got a chance to re-meet the CIA guy.
Yeah. So he's the end villain, probably.
He's got one eye. What do you expect?
Well, to be fair, Frank gave him the one eye, so...
With one punch.
Just with
one
punch! Yeah. Justifiably, Frank should be the final villain.
So what do you think things are... Well, actually, let's back it up and continue talking about what else happened. So now the sit-in for Soap now also knows that Frank Castle is alive. And so the head of the Homeland Security Department, whatever, and the new Detective Soap, they're going to try and find him, while the CIA guy tries to find him. At some point, paths are going to cross.
Yep.
Nobody else, really?
Well, I mean, it's gonna happen. There's not much to say about it other than speculating on which one's gonna come first. And it'll probably be Frank going after the CIA guy because Micro can probably look up their technology stuff somehow and trace it back to them, maybe. Or otherwise, they'll just keep sending more guys after him. So, yeah, that's it. Also, he knows Frank's alive now.
Mm-hmm. So Frank found the guy who recorded the stuff. He's probably going to be dead after this.
Yeah, I'm
no
guessing.
way. Yeah.
He served his purpose.
We got a chance to see. Punisher missed a perfect chance for a one-liner when he killed that guy. When he was like, I'm going to kill you! Could have said so many things. What could he have said? Not today. Behind you. I'm Batman. Could have had many different lines.
I don't know. I think silence is fine.
No, you need the one-liner.
You always press Y.
It's been revoked. ...
It's been revoked.
Alright, so 5... We're still not halfway through. So, yeah, unless anybody else says something else to add?
No, really.
We pretty much said what we think is going to happen next.
Mr. Gunner, I just find it hilarious that he came out with a bow.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it could be that he was out hunting, but probably not.
It's just, his name is Gunner, and then, I was expecting...
Yeah,
no, bow hunter guy. Okay, sure.
That's great. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, I mean, besides that, I also like that Micro was the typical nerd guy with his toy.
Yeah.
I'm going to help with a drone.
Well, did you see him working on it throughout the last, 2 episodes, maybe?
I didn't notice that was what he was working on.
I noticed it, but yeah, now I'm putting the piece together.
Yeah.
And also the line, we got some help from above. To the religious guy.
See? He can give one-liners. You missed a good chance for
I
that
didn't
one.
say he couldn't. I said it was fine that he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, really anything could be as lame as like better luck next time, or like whatever.
I'm
Sure.
Batman. He won't do that on Batman, will he?
No, he won't.
No.
Batman's not Marvel.
Yes.
I'm Man-Bat.
No, that was a villain in Batman.
Well, he did,
Man-Bat?
Yes.
everyone
That's
seems to call
dumb.
him the. Yeah, it was. And well, actually, Batman was turning into Man-Bat slowly.
Man-Bat was a human-like bat.
It was the thing. But
It's like a werewolf, but with a bat.
Where Batman?
I have a.
And it's Batman, so it's even dumber.
I have a very minor hope that everybody else in the show is going to be calling him the Punisher, because Frank Castle still hasn't called himself that. And he hasn't donned the skull since minute 2 of episode 1.
I think somebody said it, like, Frank Castle, the Punisher.
Yeah, no, everybody has said it. Like, everybody that's like, Frank Castle's alive. The Punisher?
Oh.
Frank Castle's like, I'm Pete. Like, I there's a small hope that I hope that before he goes, alright, fine, the skull, I get it. He's gonna, do something like, I'm the Avenger, or I am Justice, or whatever. I don't care what it is. I'm Unicorn Man. I don't care. My name's Gunner.
I'm the hipster.
I am the giver, or God, I keep forgetting what we called it.
The
Rewarder.
The rewarder. I am the rewarder.
Something.
And I reward you with punishment.
Because I've never seen, like most other superheroes call themselves it a million times before someone's like,
Well, most of them, like, they develop the character themselves.
right,
With a whole costume and everything.
yeah. And he had the costume beforehand, and he gave it up, but like
Well,
Superman's like, I'm Superman.
And this,
what?
Not even in this paint spilled on his flak jacket thing, and it dripped into a skull, and he's like, sure, okay.
But that was still his thing. But
Yeah.
like Batman is just like, you don't see a bat when you first look at that costume, really. I mean, it's kind of like, it's like a demon horn
Are
thing?
you supposed to be like a night cat or
A
something?
demon? Yeah. Batman. Oh, yes, okay, good.
Oh, okay.
And Superman, an S on his shirt, you kind of get it. But they
S-Man!
yeah, the S,
No,
swell guy.
S-Man.
No.
Wait, that's Batman.
Yes, it was, but it was,
It's fine.
every other guy is just like, this is me, seriously, spread the word. Everyone else is like, the Punisher, the Punisher, the Punisher. Fuck.
I just want to be Pete. I want to go back to just hitting walls with a sledgehammer.
He loved that hammer.
He did.
So,
Right? Join us for episode 6.
Betrayal.
All right. So, in this episode, well, first of all, let's cover the one thing we missed last episode, the family dining alone. That'll
Those
teach them.
idiots.
They had hope. Not in this show.
I liked how the wife had that big old glass of wine, and she's just like,
God, this awkward as fuck storyline.
which goes right into this episode.
Which it really needs to die. I hate it. I really hate it.
I love how they made that the last moments of the episode just for you, T-Man.
Just for me.
Like, they almost got through the entire episode for the first time ever without the weird, like, surrogate father-daughter moments and everything else, and yeah, we got that.
I'm not even sure what angle they're going for. Are they, like, trying to, like, going for a romance thing, or what you just said? Or
yeah,
him
it's a whole
just trying
package.
to be like, hey, I'm going through the same stuff too, let's
wife
It's
really
the bonding.
bond, yeah.
Well, that's the sexual tension, is just like, you get me. Nobody gets me. Oh man, what is this? Why are these hard?
Yeah.
It's weird. And more so too because Castle knows his buddy-ish, whatever you call Micro,
His
roommate,
his sitcom co-star.
is watching, and so he's making eye contact like,
Yeah, I got your back, buddy. Something tells me everything's gonna be A-okay.
I feel bad for the actor because I wouldn't know how to play this either. Like, are you living, what do you call that? Living through him? Is he happy he's comforting his wife? Is he just like, no, that's mine?
Well, presumably he's got the script for the whole show instead of just these episodes like it usually is.
Doesn't matter how this ends. This
well,
isn't something
yeah, but it helps, right?
I don't know.
If you know that Punisher's gonna end up being like, okay, let's get married, then...
I'd prefer the love triangle with the slick-haired bastard, who'd I call was a bad guy.
He had slick hair. Everyone knows he was a bad guy. I see it 2 episodes
More
from now.
importantly, he had a suit.
Yes.
And a private military company.
What more cliche do you want? Also, I picture 2 episodes from now, the Punisher banging Micro's wife and then, like, giving a thumbs up to the camera. I'm making sure she's warm for you, buddy.
I would have said no, but she called the friggin' Game of Thrones Wincest.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, that had a long time coming.
But no, it wasn't that he called it. It's that he'd be looking in the camera like, I am your nephew. And I'm like, no way will that ever happen. They're like, he is the
Oh, we're getting into a different spoiler
different
thing,
show,
so
yeah.
let's not.
Let's see. So, we had... well, first, I thought Mr. Russell was not going to betray Frank because he was all like, oh, the file, I'm going to call him every hour on the hour because this is a sad thing. And I want my friend to be alive.
Yeah, it was a really good setup.
It was a great setup because there are other things that could have contributed to it, but... Sorry, I clapped. But notice he did it right after the one-eyed bad guy saw him. That was the triggering event.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, get in touch with him now.
Yeah. I didn't connect that. That's good.
Right, because there were a couple other
observational
things where you
skills.
kind of like, that could be it,
There were a million things going on at once. Like
This show's doing a great job with that. It's magic. It's the misdirection.
Yeah.
Every step of the way, that's been somewhere in every episode. Great job.
So what do you think's going to happen with the kid now? Ignore that sound. What do you think's going to happen with the kid now?
Which one, the bully?
The stabby one.
I think he's gonna either
the
go to
18-year-old.
jail for murder or he's gonna cover it up somehow.
There's no way he's going to go to jail because that'd be like the most annoying fucking storyline ever. So how did that storyline end? Oh, he went to jail.
And
Did we have any
but-
relevance to the plot?
but-
No.
But
killed the guy.
It's going to like
who was
I don't
annoyed
know,
the black guy.
Somehow it's going to. You can connect dots from now he's in prison for murder.
There's a lot of different tiers this can end off in. I think top tier would be Castle is... So, for anybody out there who makes memes, there is that moment where they were in the awkward throes of the conversation of, he's like, the kids will pull you through this. You need something that matters to you. And the wife's like, have you found that thing for you? And he just looks off for like 5 to 10 seconds, just da 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 da, and just you can almost see the violence on the side of his screen. What was the? Hold on a second. I was going to go somewhere with that, but then I just got lost in the violent moment, like he did.
You said it was memeable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So there's a lot of hints that he's going to get to a place that's hard for him to get out of, and the kid's going to go on a killing spree that's just going to snap him back to his senses.
I think that's...
He's probably going to wind up killing the kid for mercy.
Well, I think the kid's definitely going to go on, like, senseless. I was surprised when the cop was like, oh, are you...
Reaching for my gun?
And then he was like, no, I'm just talking to you. And then he said it again louder, like, oh, yeah, you definitely are, or go away. And I was like, I was expecting him to be like, no, this is reaching for your gun.
And then just start there?
Yeah.
He was trying to be a good person there.
Yeah, he was.
He was trying to be a law-abiding patriot. And I think that if he...
That was the spot of, like, one bad day can...
Yeah.
And I feel bad for him because, like, I haven't been to war, but I understand what he's going through, and he hasn't really done too much wrong. Even the killing of that fat fuck. Like...
Oh, thank you for articulating that,
yes.
You couldn't have just...
I wanted to make sure you understand what meant fat fuck. He got punched in the face, but he went for a knife. And
Yeah.
he's been faking that whole going to Vietnam thing.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
that's a pretty severe thing.
It's.
And it almost...
I don't know if that's
I don't-
kill-worthy, but him going to kill him.
I don't know what that guy's motivations for that were. Like, it could just be like, a Fight Club thing, or maybe like somebody was paying him to do it. Like he always had the NRA shirts and was handing out pamphlets about guns and stuff. So I don't know. I think
like
he
it
was just kind of
a lonely guy.
bored. Yeah.
And he had a captive audience.
Yeah.
So,
We're gonna take back our guns in our country.
yeah.
What power?
And then the most important scene in the entire Punisher so far, Micro's kid punching the daughter. That was wonderful. That'll teach you to
something.
snitch.
I didn't raise a thief, slept sister.
Snitches get stitches. Never forget that, kids. Even in the Marvel Universe, that exists.
In Luke Cage, that's like a running thing. Like, every time the police are asking questions, like, the guy's got like a gunshot wound, and, they're like, I didn't see anything. and the female cop's like, I should have that trademarked so that every time someone says that, I could charge them. Did you guys know what, Tupac's dying words were?
What?
He never died. He's still alive.
Okay.
He's living in Brazil.
Well, they kept this under wraps for like 20 years, and then they just like released it because they
Sounds
were
legit.
worried about the public reaction to it. Fuck the police. Who shot you? We can save you. Tell us who it is, and we'll get him. Fuck the police.
Well, well, good. Stay dead. Alright, join us for what's next, episode 7 or 8? I forget.
The next one.
The next one. Episode 7 has just been done, and they left us with blue balls.
That was the perfect setup, though. Oh yeah, he pulled the trigger. Yes, no, yes, great. Oh, it's bulletproof glass.
Not just bulletproof, I mean, that was a sniper.
Yeah.
That's super bulletproof.
And he's standing there all
diamond
confident.
glass.
It's diamond glass. It's made of the webs of 1,000,000 spiders. Yeah.
Yeah, there was that moment where the glass cracked, and I wasn't quite sure if he was dead yet, and then he stayed there. I was like,
very
man,
suspenseful.
that's quick rigor mortis. And then he moved. I'm like, no.
Well, it was kind of like brought it back to the first scene of the first episode, and it was like,
Yeah.
But then he's kind of like, he puts his hands on his hips, and he's kind of
Well,
like,
I never.
oh, you, how could you, in my own house?
Bring out the war dogs.
Release the hounds. Looks like Mr. Burns.
So overall, pretty action packed.
Though, I'm thinking back, this is supposed to be the Punisher. I'm expecting a lot more dead bodies.
Yeah, that's true.
So far it's just been, I'm impressed with the kills. They're quality. Like, he's
Yeah,
just taking
yeah.
out special agents, special forces left and right.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that haven't been a lot of people that are actually guilty of things.
Right.
And the one time that he had to actually shoot at somebody that, like, didn't deserve it was in this episode, and he's like, I'm gonna give you 7 chances, and you better not try to throw them away. And then, you ended up having to shoot
He's
like,
losing sleep over it.
non-lethally, like, shot him in the arm or something, and then he
Yeah.
felt super guilty about it.
Then he's with his buddy counseling, like, I had to hurt a kid.
I shot at a kid.
You killed 6 people this week, but the kid.
You literally strung him up and hung him by his own entrails, but the kid.
Like, his shoulder is gonna suck. Trust me, I know.
You have-
Every injury I get is in my
the right
right shoulder.
Sir, we got him. Was it in the right shoulder? Was the correct or the right one? Yes. He's gonna have arthritis if he makes it to, like, next year.
So it seems like the villain Punisher is getting bored more and more. Seems like he's gonna make a
Yeah.
nice little explosion to take care of the body.
I don't think it's to take care of the body. That seems like the worst possible way to dispose of body of.
I think he's making a bomb to take his...
come up with.
Yeah, I think he's already got rid of the body.
No, the body was right there in the house. Still.
Yeah, but I think he already either it's either not going to be found. It's in a place where it's fine. He's not making a bomb to get rid of it, though. I think it's his next step because that was what that episode, whatever he was doing with his dad. Just you gotta change up your game plan, son.
That should help you.
You don't have to think of the world as a fight anymore. You're not in the war, but keep on fighting.
How many red flags does he need, though? It's just like, man, I really wish I was a boxer. Oh, you mean getting beat up all the time? No, I mean, you get in the ring and you just have to kill your opponent.
You know who your enemy is, and you just have to kill them.
Yeah, and it's just... At that point, I mean...
Did you sleep well with my whatever pills?
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
Seriously, here you have to get like an amphetamine.
I put my gun in my mouth and cried for a bit. But other than that, no, not really. It was actually really, I didn't sleep well.
Should I question
I want a beer, son! I've been watching boxing matches from the 70s.
What else can I do to make your situation worse? Watching violence, giving you alcohol and pills? Should I question him about the bloody hands and the deep gash in the gun? Nah.
Why are you out in the cold without a shirt on and a huge bloody gash? Oh, you want some coffee?
Let's make you fat. Here's pizza. Oh.
No, but he's definitely building a bomb to blow up. Like, I think he's gonna blow up the courthouse.
The more time that passes, the less I think this, but I had a thought a couple episodes ago that he might don the Punisher garb, because there's no skull in this yet. We're on episode 7, besides the first 2 minutes where we had just a pile of dead drug dealers and bad guys, like, oh yeah, this is the Punisher, this is the Punisher. He burned the suit! And I thought for sure it would come back, no. So, anyways, I'm trying to figure out what's going to make him don the skull again, you know?
Yeah.
Go full Punisher. And a couple episodes I had the thought that maybe the kid is going to be like, we needed someone like the Punisher. I can be that one. Or rather, let me be... I can do it! I will be the Punisher, okay?
I'm gonna be the Punisher. You want fries with your punishment?
Shut up, Morty. And... yeah, so I still don't know what's going to do it. That it might still happen. I doubt it, but he's definitely going to change up his attack.
Next episode, I'm expecting some kind of not exactly a heel turn, but
yeah, he's
something
not exactly
big.
going to hero. Also, I continue to like his slick back Castle's slick back hair friend less and less.
Russo.
And he more and more is, you know that
what
episode?
Possible reason could you have for not liking him at this point?
But you know that episode in The Simpsons when Mr. Burns said that the factory belonged to the canary?
Oh yeah, like to avoid a lawsuit or something.
Yeah, I really am starting to see that smug one milky-eyed guy. He's sort of like the canary. Like, he really doesn't possess many skills. Like, he once watched 6 people die. He's like, ooh, we're gonna get Castle. When he watched the SWAT team up in the mountain.
That's why when Russo said, I always imagined you as a hands-on guy, I was kind of like, what?
Yeah.
The reason that he got beaten up till his eye was wrecked. And
punched once until his eyes was wrecked.
No, it was a few times, but I think...
punch.
I think the one punch ruined his eye, and then he kept on going. But the reason that happened was because he screwed up that mission because he didn't have the experience. While Frank was like, well, "No, I think this is a trap. Warrior instincts." And he was like, "Oh, that's nonsense.
I have
isn't real. We have missions and stuff that we have information, and that's more solid." Which is, to be fair, is
they were trying to kill him. The way I read into the script right now is that was his attempt to kill off the task force.
The entire force?
Yeah, because Castle's like, "This is a trap. This is the way I would set up a trap," and he's just like, and everybody else in the room was like, yeah, that makes sense. And he's just like, no, go and do it. I think he was trying to kill off the task force because they've uncovered that they were hitmen. Like, that's all they were. They weren't legit at all, in any sense of the word. So, I think that they had run their course.
And that idea would make sense with Russo and his huge military company, Hitman Inc.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's one of the ways I read into that.
And also, he said, I thought the reason that you wanted Frank dead was just because of that punch.
Yeah, well,
which we put it after though, but
he was hands-on. He was the guy that was torturing that policeman, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and so that's what I got.
That's what it means. He's like a James Bond villain, like, Mr. Bond, I will tell you my evil plan now,
right.
just so I can watch your balls shrivel.
He's not the on the front shooting people guy. He's the like, okay,
is he tied up? Is it safe?
Yeah, he's the guy who throws popcorn at animals in the zoo, and he's like, "Oh, look, they're eating the popcorn, and they're going to get fat and die." The thought of that just brings me to tears.
No, he's
in happy tears.
He's the guy who throws popcorn at the animals, going, "Yeah, I am the top of the food chain."
Yes.
I got here by myself.
I'm gonna die of heart disease.
Yeah. So. That's their dynamic. I'm looking forward to the slicky hair guy getting his comeuppance, but it does make me wonder a lot about the friend that has fixed up Castle a lot. I mean, how long can you be around someone like that before it's just like you're a little suspicious of them? And plus,
which one?
So
one-legged black guy?
Yeah, we've never gone back to that conversation they were having about the kid, the 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
That seemed to instantly turn into, like, we're going to make a supervillain out of this kid. And so...
What do you mean?
So, the scene where, it was the scene after he gave the big speech about how the country has invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into you. And then he's watching this kid help these other people, and they have behind the two-way glass conversation, and, he's like, you think that he could be the one? He's like, nah, no way. This guy's crazy. And then he's like, you do your part, I'll do my part. And then what the guy did is he walked out there and it basically did everything he could to make him go crazy. And then the other guy set him up. They just both seem to both go at the same way.
I don't think he was trying to make him crazy. In fact, I think he was kind of like, he was coming off as like, well, I have to think of the company, but he wasn't harsh in the way. There was a lot that he could have done to make that worse that he didn't do, but there wasn't a whole lot that he could have done better.
Something in the way that...
Like, there was, but not a whole... It was more on the better scale than the worst scale.
It was just something in the way they were talking about it makes me wonder, because I could see like
he was talking more as I'm the CEO or whatever than as I'm gonna give you an inspirational speech because I'm just like you guys and I was in your position and now look what
I'm not
what
talking
I
about
am.
that. So it was after that, and when they were talking about the kid, they're like
just the two of them?
Yeah, just the two of them. And then they basically hatched a scheme of some sort and said, all right, you do your part and I'll do mine. You're up first to the CEO guy.
Well, but the scheme wasn't to turn him evil. The scheme was to get him set straight again.
I don't think so. That's not how you set somebody straight.
No, one-legged black guy, he's on the up and up.
I don't know.
His life's work is to keep people on the up and up.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if they're going to create a second Punisher or something like that, I don't think that he's total lawful, as demonstrated since with his scene where it's just like, man, they gave me a goat. You know what they did? They blew up the goat, and then they made me fix him. And like everyone's...
Well, clearly that guy's not on the up and up.
That's the black guy.
Oh, right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that. All right, so I think
the military in general is not on the up and up, but
a pimp named Slickback, he's evil, and I think that he's the worst of the worst right now. I think the black guy.
Is his full name a pimp?
That's what I'm gonna call him. Then there's the black guy who I think is kind of trying his best, give or take. I think he's got a lot of bitterness. Tucked away, and maybe they have some side projects, but I think he's more or less doing his best, but more easily swayed than Castle, who's going to, be like the one who seems the most twisted, but really he's the one with a standard, and, the Punisher usually maintains a certain level of, I can't say dignity, but, there's a certain Punisher-ness.
Honor-ish.
Whatever it is, he's got it.
He's got his own code of ethics that
and I
he
could
follows.
See, I could see a pimp named Slickback and the black guy with their drinks over Castle's grave one time going, the world needs more of that. And so I could see, because I think the pimp named Slickback is very manipulative. So like in the conversation earlier with the fat milky-eyed guy, he's lowering the popcorn in. The pimp named Slickback can't get the popcorn, but he's like, hey, look, there's a popcorn stand, and I know you were just given $100. Fat, you can get and so then he goes and does that. Versus the black guy's just like, we need more justice in the world, or we need better, whatever. And he's like, this is the way to do it. I think that he's manipulating him to nefarious means.
No, because he went into the little foxhole he dug and was trying to get him out of there, and he went to. Okay, so they all think that the sacred bond between the military is your family is like, well, no, you would never go against that, but clearly
they're smarter than that. They're not.
No, because they're blinded by it, because every single one of them has said that.
Okay,
in
so
some way or another.
Let's follow the course of action. The next thing that,
or at least all the guys in the unit, the higher ranks haven't. They're like, who cares about these guys? But
it seemed like he had a way in how a pimp named Slickback treated him right after, which was bad. Like, there is nothing about that interaction was like, I care about you in any way, shape, or form. It was total manipulation. Oh, hey,
I just found out that you're a liability, so.
Even more than that, he just like, he really, and he knows how to get under people's skin. Like, watch that scene again. He really got under his skin. There was a little bit of you gotta be on top of that. Alright, so, right. So, the next thing that happens that's of major concern is the kid gets locked up. The black guy goes and bails him out, and he goes, he does say the first part, it was like, okay, maybe he's okay, because he's like, you didn't call your father, so you called me. But I think you would have called the big fat guy. Oh, but you tried that, and he didn't do it. And you know what? He's been lying about being in Nam.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that he tried it, it's that he didn't try it. The black guy was the first one he called.
No, he said you tried that, and he didn't come, did he? There's no one else you could come to, so it was me.
I don't think...
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's what he said?
Yeah. And so, on top of that, by the way, he's been lying about being in Nam.
It wasn't specified, but it was implied that he was, like, kind of the last resort.
I would watch it. I'm pretty sure that was what he said.
He's like, well, he was like, why'd you call me? I thought you were out of the group. Nobody else would come for you, huh? You tried whoever. You tried.
You didn't want your father. I would have expected you would have called him first. You did. He didn't show up, did he? Oh well, so that leaves me. So that sucks. And by the way,
but it was the kid was just like stone faced the whole time, kind of staring at him, and in the end, he never. Was like, well, no, I didn't talk to anyone else, and they refused to come.
Mm-hmm. It could have been his just up and up, I'm trying to get you on the right, and that guy is just, he's not a good person, don't be like him, and I don't expect anything else to come. But it was him saying that led to his murder.
What? Wait, who's who? Who's
the black guy telling him that
what did he say?
You tried reaching out to him, he wouldn't come. He's a no-gooder, and he lied about being at Nam. This is, where he was.
That led to his murder.
There was no reason for him to tell somebody just out of jail that. Like, you could have said, he's no good.
Well, but he wasn't in jail for a good reason.
Andy was, the old fat guy kept talking to him and, like, slowly bringing him to the dark side.
That guy was, like, clearly, like, with the rest of the group, he was, like, trying to start up problems with other people, too.
All you needed was he wasn't there for you.
He could... I think he could tell that NRA guy was being a bad influence on him in particular.
I'm putting it together also with, he had that secret conversation which led to the next thing. Like, there's something that is not meeting up there.
With what?
There's something in the way that he had the conversation right before with the pimp named Slickback. That was in a very strange... that was done in a very strange way. The next actions were funny, and then him doing all of that was funny.
What were the next actions?
The next actions were when he came out and talked to him in a really bad way. Like, watch that episode again. And watch how they're talking about him. Watch, he's like, yeah, we know what we're gonna do. Go do that. And then, everything else that happens is very, very strange.
Okay, well, we know that this is a TV show and it's not very good at, doing psychology.
This
right?
one is. And they do this direction all the time.
I don't think they're going that deep with the black guy having ulterior motives, though.
No.
I think they are. He definitely wants something for the kid. And
he wants to help him out. That's what I think it is. And he could tell that NRA guy was kind of getting under his skin, and like the NRA guy from the moment he was introduced as, oh, well, you think you're being oppressed because you're black? I'm guns.
Yeah.
That's like from minute one. That was actually kind of the beginning of how the group was introduced. Was like, oh well, this guy has his opinion on life, and
everybody else
it's kind of dumb,
different.
but well, whatever. And then the leader of the group was like, we all come from our different walks of life, and that's what brings us together. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
But. Yeah, I don't think there's an ulterior motive, and I think he finally just had enough, and he's like, this guy's okay. These two guys got arrested for doing the one guy got arrested, and the other guy kind of walked off. But they were doing it together. What's this guy's deal? So we looked into it, and he's a fraud. So what's his motivation for being there? And we still don't know, but we had our speculations earlier.
Let's also not forget that the Jews are involved in all this.
They have the internet. That was 3 episodes
the Jews
ago.
control the internet.
What the hell was that even?
I'm not hearing he's wrong. Alright, we'll find out next episode how much the Jews control the internet. Alright,
episode 8, The Punisher. Let's begin. Frank Castle shares touching moments with the Micro family. Or what would otherwise be touching moments with the Micro.
God, I am really hating this freaking angle. I saw it coming a mile away. I hope they wouldn't, but they're still doing it.
I like the almost
and it
breaking...
will continue.
Oh, yes, it will. I like the almost breaking of the fourth wall. Like when I saw him walk up with flowers, I'm like, why would you get flowers? And then finally, at the end, one of the first things Micro says is, why would you get her flowers?
I need an excuse.
That's what my wife liked.
Yeah.
I guess it's what she likes too.
Oh my god. On the bright side, I'm really, really happy they didn't go the whole, oh, how dare you, Punisher, I'm breaking up with you in this deal angle. They went, I'm just gonna get drunk and accept it. Which is...
I'm well hung.
Yeah, that was a good drunk moment.
Mm-hmm.
What is hung like a... what do you say? A moose? What does that even mean?
Have you never seen a moose penis?
No.
Really?
Seriously.
Wow, let's pause this for a second.
Okay. Oh my god!
Right? Damn! Alright. Let's see. Going to the beginning of the episode, we had a nice little meeting between... would you call him a pimp named Slipback?
Yeah, pimp named Slipback.
Yeah, the baddie, Brucio, and his biological mom.
Yeah, that was messed up.
Mm-hmm. They actually They did it exactly how Punisher Max does it. They showed the bad guys. They gave them a backstory so you understand why they justify it for themselves, but you as a reader still fucking hate them.
It wasn't a Freudian excuse where it's like, I was abused as a child, so I'm gonna kill everyone and make them go through abuse. It was just like, I was abused as a child, so shut up.
Yeah, here's drugs. I'm gonna stick my hands in your mouth and bleh. Yeah, they did it. They gave him a more fleshed out backstory, like he was maybe sexually abused as a kid, and the guy broke his arm. But even still, screw that guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't justify teaming up with One-Eyed Willie.
One-Eyed Willie or chaining his biological mom, I think, or whoever she was, to the bed and just injecting her with drugs and torturing her. Like, you can totally tell before whatever happened to her, he said, you had a choice. Mm-hmm. And then, so as soon as he said that about Castle, like, she almost broke through her shell, but then he's like, morphine for you.
If people want a pro-abortion over adoption argument, just show that clip. See what happens when you don't abort? Speaking of One-Eyed Willie, him and Pit named Slipback had a bit of a little meeting. They were exchanging dicks. Yeah. Seeing whose was bigger. I like how there was a phallus-shaped skyscraper right behind Pimp named Slickback. I'm not afraid of anyone.
I will go up.
Now I'm not sure who the final boss will be, because I thought it was One-Eyed Willie, I guess we're calling him now.
Yes.
But...
Yeah, I think that...
Now, because he's like, I'm not afraid to go against anyone. He was clearly referring to him.
Yeah.
So it seems like maybe a pimp named Slickback. Why are we doing this? Why?
You don't have to.
Call him Lucio.
Russo might be the final boss.
I think that's
especially true. Because he's getting so much more screen time and character development.
Yeah,
clearly the final boss is going to be Micro's kid.
Yeah. You showed me all that I know. Let me thank you.
That was hilarious. I'm going to hold this knife to your throat. Why are you crying? Shit. There.
Do you like football?
There, small child.
I'll throw you football. You kids like football, right? Yeah.
Kids like sports. I like sports. My daddy taught me about sports before he died.
When he wanted to get rid of him, he just threw it real hard.
Yeah, way past. Go running.
Go long.
Go long. No longer than that. Yeah, super long. Who was that man you were talking to? Some hobo.
Call me daddy. You're my boy.
We didn't see any...
My man.
We did not see any of Crazy Kid Soldier Guy.
Oh yeah, you're
right.
Yay!
That's why this episode was good.
I don't think that plot line's too bad.
They have to connect. They need you already connected to the main story. Yeah. Right now, it's way too who gives a shit. Because they could take that entire plot line out, nothing would change about the story so far. They gotta make some connection already.
Yeah, they need it.
Well, there's a couple overlaps, but not really. They just haven't connected it to Punisher. They've connected it to a bunch of other things, but not Frank.
What they could have done is they had somebody mention the Punisher to the kid, and have him occasionally make a mention about the Punisher, like, yeah, he did good. To give us a thought like, okay, he knows the Punisher was a thing, like, he acknowledges that he did some good, he's gonna go the routes of bad Punisher.
Yeah, we're kind of reiterating what we've already said about that.
Yeah, but some sort of connection would be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the former point. Russo's definitely... I think he's definitely going to be the final boss because the One-Eyed Willie... why'd I call him Russo? A pimp named Slickback is going to be the final boss because the other guy, he has all the resources and so he's going to fund everything and he's going to be the biggest general problem. But, I mean, who's going to be in the final room? It's not going to be him. And if it is, it'll be disappointing. Like, just Castle covered in everybody else's blood, sort of, limping because he got shot in the right shoulder again.
I would like you to...
Well, he could be like the final guard, and then like that, there's a huge like knockdown, drag out fight, and then with Russo,
it'll be,
and then he goes into the room and just shoots the guy.
Maybe. But I'd still then would count Russo as the last hurdle, last obstacle. I think it's going to be like a, what do you call it? So, in Gladiator, there was the scene where he's going to face off against the Emperor, and the Emperor's a good fighter in and of himself, like Russo. It seems like Castle's, I get the impression that Castle's a better fighter than Russo, but not by much. They're both like super elite.
Yeah.
And so what Russo's going to do is he's going to just use everybody like he did in this scene to just sort of like shoot at him, hopefully do a little bit of damage, and he's going to be all fresh.
Got way more resources.
Yeah, and so he's going to slick back his hair, or he's going to put some makeup on, or some crazy silly thing like that. Twist his little
mustache into curls,
and meet him fully,
armored.
Armored and like spritzed up.
Draw a little smiley face on his chest,
and that's my guess for the final scene or final boss.
See, what other fun things happened this episode? Oh, fake Soap died.
Yeah, that was sad.
The partner of the lady.
I didn't really care for him much, but I was still sad.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because he couldn't spit it out.
I need to be careful. I said that, what he kept doing was his thing was he'd go into her office and be like, hey, that one guy's real pretty, I could kiss you. Like, this needs to stop, and boy did it.
Oh, man.
Not like this! Not like this! I meant he needs a girlfriend!
That's not what I meant, guys.
Oh, someone got penetrated.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it wasn't surprise who.
Mm-hmm. And before that happened, I'm like, why are you going in to arrest the guy? He's...
My big thing is why
first he was like, stop, police!
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, he's already taken down multiple cops.
Better than him.
You can just shoot the guy. Yeah, better than him. And more heavily armed and more heavily armored. You could just shoot the guy at this point. The only reason that you can't is because he's kind of just standing there, like, not really doing anything.
Well, they wanted information.
Yeah, but, like, just shoot him in the leg. Come on.
Sure, kneecap him, but that's kind of cruel, like, if you're actually in the situation. I didn't mind
I think it's also against police protocol.
Yep.
But,
yeah.
That's what police, code...
You're reaching for my gun!
Exactly. That's what that's for, but, like, I guess he used a
microaggression.
Yeah.
I guess that's why he's in the place that he was in, is because he's, like, not exactly by the books, but, like,
he's that kind
ethical kind of guy.
Mm-hmm. He is. And also, I didn't mind, like, after he got on his knees, it's like, alright, that's a good spot. Just hold there until you have, like, 5 or 6 people.
Don't go and cuff him, because we've literally already seen the same exact scene.
Well, we have. He didn't.
When...
He's just like, I got this guy.
Yeah, you're right.
So anyway, anything else?
Anyone want to mention how creepy as fuck that bathing scene was?
No, like, I don't want to talk about the bathing scene.
That was just like, I want my lover to come in and sponge me off the blood of my partner while I'm naked in the bathtub.
That he killed.
Well, she doesn't know that, but...
But still.
Yeah. Extra awkwardness. No, I can't wait.
It doesn't matter that she know that.
Yeah.
We get it, the creepiness.
At some point she'll find out, and she'll be all sad.
In the words of Micro,
I don't think sad is... I don't think sad is the thing that's going to happen. That's not going to be the first reaction from her.
Does anyone else miss sex?
Join us next time for episode 9.
Episode 9. No skull.
Oh. That was skull music, too.
Yes, why was there no skull?
I seriously miss sex.
Of all the... Nobody cares. Of all the times to bring
Literally.
back the skull in a huge cliffhanger, that was the time.
But no! They gotta keep cock-teasing us! Stop it! I want to see my skull!
Everything about that, like, there was the old Frank, he's back, guys, he's back! Dun, 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 dun.
Damn it! I want my skull! Alright, so the episode began with a side quest. All of a sudden, big booms, and you can just see on Frank's face, this isn't part of the plot.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
Did I do this?
Like, all other superheroes are like, oh, a call to action. He's just like,
Huh.
And it's like, what does the Punisher do in that situation? Good. I'm gonna watch the news.
So finally they tied in, I was about to say Karate Kid, Military Kid, with the main plot. He, like we expected, became something of an anti-Punisher.
And it pisses Frank off because he knows they're the same.
And a copycat Punisher.
Yeah, he's very, very bad at it.
Yeah.
I'll blow up innocent people. I'm the same as Frank, who takes out, bad people.
Hordes of drug dealers and murderers.
Uh-huh.
He uses a ton of bomb stuff just to take out the one guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think they said that nobody from the
They said nobody
the
from
other
that
3
video
bombs.
died, but there was video where people died.
14 people were dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 14 people were dead from the bombings. So, yeah. They brought in Sexy Elf Lady to be part of the plot again.
Yeah. She came off awful strong.
Uh-huh.
I guess she does that with every guy. She just is trying to do something different with this one.
Wait, which guy?
She comes off rather strong, flirtatiously normally. This one, she came off strong in a different way.
Oh, okay.
You pussy, let's see what you got. Bet you can't get me.
Yeah, so I like the radio show interview where there was the congressman who's like a total hypocrite, as it turns out.
Yeah.
He's against guns.
Surprise!
All of them are.
He calls the Redeemer, calls into the show, and, there was, a bit of interesting thing. He came off as a total crazy person.
Yeah.
Well,
just a lot.
He doesn't just him coming off. He is a crazy person. He'd be losing it,
Yeah.
boy.
I mean,
look at how he's trying to cover the dead body.
It would be...
It's covered!
The saran wrap will preserve.
It wasn't saran wrap, it was a shower curtain.
Whatever.
It's even worse.
It was a metaphor.
Metaphorically gay. So, yeah.
Okay.
Then he managed to beat a guy with his own leg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that was actually a good fight scene because he had the fake leg and he still managed to really take him on pretty good for most of the fight.
Well, it just goes to show you don't need 2 good legs to have the upper hand.
Boo!
I thought of a similar pun during the episode, but I couldn't. I tried to remember it, but I couldn't. Oh, get a leg up on him.
Ah!
Yeah, that was brutal. Like the way his face looked after
Yeah.
that. Like, damn, son.
Beaten to death with his own leg.
It looked like someone who just gotten beat with a
Then we got a little bit more of
a foot of wood. Huh?
Yeah. Then we got to see a little bit of Frank's backstory in the military. It gives us an idea of why he's a little bit more trigger happy than you'd expect. Because he wasn't trigger happy once. His friend's leg got blown off.
He wasn't trigger happy enough with that one pregnant lady, so now
Yeah.
everyone's got to die.
Yeah,
Yes.
That was an interesting backstory, and it also explains why he hates bombs so much.
That's why he always shoots him in the
Bombs
face.
are for cowards.
Even though he occasionally uses the bomb. But maybe not
In the show so far?
Not in
I
the
don't
show.
think he
but-
has.
Not in the show,
I
but
don't
he
think
has used it.
he's used smoke grenades, and that's it.
Yeah. But he's used the bomb before in the comics.
Yeah.
Take out a bunch of people at once when he's just too much outgunned. Ooh, so we got a little bit more of... Oh, Micro and Farsi Lady. I always forget the name. Micro and the
Something with
Homeland
an
Lady.
M.
Isn't
Yeah.
it Dina Montalban? I forget her last
Either
name.
or something like that. We'll call her just Homeland Lady. So they finally had a nice little meeting. So she's definitely going to be within the next episode. Probably face-to-face with Mr. Punisher.
Probably.
And I swear to God, if they don't give us the skull next episode, that's one of the bad things about Netflix's Marvel stuff. They wait until like the very end to give somebody the costume. Like Daredevil, he didn't get his costume until like the last episode. Till then, like, what a rag.
It was 2 seasons, so... I don't know, do you think they were planning on 2 seasons at the start?
Probably not. I mean, it ended pretty... Actually, no, it ended with William Fisk being all like, fuck it, I've been too nice. So, probably some elements of it, of planning.
I just watched it all straight through, so I don't remember the separation.
Yeah. Basically, William Fisk was being taken to jail, and people he paid off broke him out, like when he was in the paddy wagon. And he was all like, I've been too nice with these people. Time to get mean.
Wasn't he in jail in the second season, though?
Yes, he was. Why was he in jail then?
Because he got too mean.
Oh, he broke out and then Daredevil caught him again.
And then he broke back in. Anyway,
Yeah, not much more I can say about this episode.
yeah.
Action-y.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pretty good pacing.
Yes, finally.
Does it strike you as odd at just how much Frank idolizes Marines?
No, he's always been a very big military guy. In one of the things when he had like a whole squad of military people coming at him to basically kill him, he did everything he could to not kill them. He fucked them up a lot because like the Marines, they can take it, but he specifically avoided killing them. He's got 2 soft spots. Actually 3 soft spots.
Little kids?
There are little kids, women, and Marines.
God bless him.
Or just military people in general. Yeah, there's been a few times which people managed to get the drop on him because they used women or something like that on him. Yeah. Join us for episode 10. Episode 10, the cock teasing continues. Give us the skull!
I like the way that episode was told.
It was not something I expected from a Punisher episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else? I mean, I can talk.
And that's all we have
That's all.
to say about that.
That's episode no.
Yeah, well, this episode, they took like what should have been half an episode and made, or like a quarter of an episode and made it into a full episode just because, they put us in the perspective of the characters better because there's so many different stories that are possible. And so the first one you get is just 90% a lie because it's told by the
Little shit.
Yeah, Nick. And then you're just like, that's not what happened. It's like, that's not what happened. Aha!
And then I saved the world. Wow, he actually said that?
So, few things to mention. First, most important, may God bless Punisher's right shoulder. That thing has taken so much abuse in this series. Just every bad thing that happens is his right shoulder.
I'm pretty sure when he jumped in to take the bullet, it was in his right shoulder. Then he stood up and got shot in his right shoulder again.
Oh, man.
No, one of them clipped his ear.
Okay, yeah, one of them did clip his ear, but I'm saying in the room. So it was the blonde girl, blonde elf, let's call her, and
Why is she an elf?
because she is.
Have you not seen her ear?
I guess not.
I guess not.
So, her and the politician were down on the ground. Don't shoot me! Don't shoot him! Don't shoot me! Don't shoot him! And Frank Ass was like, shoot me! And then he shot, and it looked like it hit his shoulder. And then he stood up, and he shot him again in the goddamn shoulder.
So I'm wondering if next episode they're going to play the angle of, oh, Punisher did it, he's the bad guy, he's teaming up with him. Or they're going to be smart about it.
I like that Gina, or Dina, or whatever her name is trying to team up with him now, just desperately. She's like, give him my card! Have him call me! Please!
Yeah. Her. Name begins with an M.
She had a standoff with her boyfriend over him.
But she also realized, oh shit, wait a minute.
What was the triggering moment?
Exposed as bad. Well, because he was like pointing her gun at her.
He said something which made them realize, oh wait, he's a bad guy.
I know, what did he say?
Fuck, I can't remember.
At the time, I'm like, that was an odd jump for that moment. Because what he said before that was, the only crime in war is losing, or something like that. And she's like, you shot my partner! I mean, the things were there, but I thought that the moment would have been that he knew that he was stabbed. Like, the partner, he knew that he was stabbed before. Like, she probably hadn't said anything to him.
It could have been like a, everybody kind of knows that's what happened thing, but they never really said it on screen.
She could have said it maybe while she was bathing, but it seemed like an odd thing. Like, he had the gun on him, why did he get stabbed? Like, that was a pretty, like, it was an odd thing to say for a lot of reasons, and there's a lot of things that he maybe shouldn't have been privy to, where she'd have been like, and the guys all work for him, and he said that. Oh my god, but no, it was just,
I think it was a build-up, like just one thing after another, and finally he said a thing, it's like, okay, I figured it out.
Also, he was pointing the gun at her, so it's kind of like, what are you doing? Why? What are you doing and
What
why?
was his end game there, actually?
He was horny?
To shoot Punisher.
Yeah.
Just cuz?
Because he was like kind of around the corner of the stairwell,
Yeah, no, but
just
just
outside,
'cause.
and then
Well,
he was like
she
sort
also
of
like
inching
ruined his entire everything.
his way around,
What?
and then what's his name? Russo was like, can I angle around just the right amount to shoot him, or no? I better point my gun back at her.
And he's also pissed off that he got played by her. Because of the whole tactical thing.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Like, you bitch! And Punisher, again, doesn't get a kill.
Yeah,
Blew
it
himself
was
up.
right there.
But he did
Another
talk
guy
him
that the
into
Punisher
him-
didn't kill.
into it, essentially.
You gotta give him more kills. Like, 90% of his kills for the first 2 minutes.
I
Gotta
think-
wear the skull.
Okay, who did he kill?
Everyone in the first 2 minutes.
He killed everyone.
Oh, and then he
first two-
killed a bunch of
that
the
army.
special ops guys.
Yeah. And...
the construction workers.
Oh yeah, those assholes.
Oh, yeah.
So he needs the
So,
beard or
like,
the skull?
Like 12 guys?
No, he
Sounds high.
also killed the Nucci's, the Italian
Oh,
mafia
yeah,
dudes.
yeah.
Good.
So maybe 20
He still needs more kills
that we know of.
that we know of.
Yeah, that was a nice touch. You killed 37 people? That they know of.
Right. Join us for episode. What was coming up next? 11, 12? We'll figure it
something.
out. We'll figure it out.
Episode 11, The Punisher. This made a lot of sense. We've been waiting on the skull, and I finally figured out why they've been waiting. Did anyone
Why?
else pick up on it?
I
Nope.
finally found out why this is called the Punisher.
Yeah. That skull does bring death, like Jesus. So I didn't realize this until this episode, but the skull comes out when Frank breaks. His original break was kind of mended a bit, and he's just been kind of getting there. Finally, what was his buddy's name? The friggin'
Russo?
Slickback. Yeah, Pimp Named Slickback. That's exactly right. He betrayed him, and that just broke Frank. He spent like 10 minutes just looking into the flame as the day turned into night, the night turned into day. Yeah.
Yeah.
He broke. And so did everything
He
else.
left his family.
Finally we got some good old skull action. The action always just seems so much more awesome when he's got the skull.
Well, it's been lacking since.
Yeah, it's been very lacking.
Well, yeah, he killed, we were talking about it earlier, like, since he lost the skull, he killed maybe a dozen people.
Only? Yeah.
Only a dozen people that we know of.
That they know of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He killed a dozen or more people in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun seeing some of his planning stuff. He didn't use bombs, but he got close.
Yeah.
Well, he did, he had the head in,
Oh yeah, he did have the head bomb.
Yes. Oh my god, that was brutal.
yeah. I'm glad I called it. Why did he throw the head? Oh, there's a bomb in it.
That is some good old fashioned extreme Punisher stuff. He usually doesn't chop off body parts and whatnot, but when he does, oh, it's nice.
So he's finally going full castle, just straightforward back. I'm going to kill people. He reveals, and I like the exchange between Micro and him about the skull. Like, that's stupid. That's stupid. And he's just like, it's what I do. And he's getting more and
It's
more
my
straightforward.
thing.
Everyone else is going more
I'm
and
gonna
more.
draw all over my vest.
Batman's got a thing. I don't see you talking to Batman about it.
I've got a utility belt too. Gonna talk about that? No, just the skull.
Just the white obvious skull. But then everyone else is going more and more espionage, like politics.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen to the head of the not Homeland, CIA?
The lady?
Yeah, she kind of
I don't know, but I
put
like
herself
her.
in a precarious situation.
Yeah, she's kind of set herself up, unfortunately, because she's a good person, it seems, to take the blame.
The way I would do it if I was her is I would, after saying all that to One-Eyed Willie, just go straight to the press. Like, so, here's the thing. Before I nominated him and whatnot, He didn't tell me all of these things, and now that I know him, the very day I found out, mind you, I'm giving him away. Don't hate me.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
I wouldn't go to the press, but telling the Homeland people about it would definitely be a good idea, I guess.
The main problem with that is everything around that is drenched in lies, and it just seems like a convenient thing. Like, once you take away people's confidence in you, you can't just be like, I just found out, guys, seriously. Seriously, I didn't know.
Well, I don't think she lied in the meeting that she had before she found out. She's like,
well, we know.
Oh, hey, some accusations, huh? They're probably not true. I know that dude. He's a good person, blah, blah, blah. And then she immediately went to be like, you told me that you were legit. And I was like, okay.
Well, yeah, no.
And didn't follow up on any investigation or anything.
Define legit.
Just assumed that, like a kind of CIA mercenary killer people, that kills for the good reasons and not the bad ones.
We have inside knowledge, though, so it's easy for us to see that she's a really good person, but there's really no going back from that. Like, hey guys, sorry I nominated just a psychopathic mass murderer. I just found out, I swear to God.
He's got one eye, woman, what else do you need?
He lost that eye in the line of duty.
So, she's probably not long for this world.
In combat.
You think she might die?
I think that he's going to do something to have her offed. He might be the next head of the CIA.
That would be a good thing to do if they were going for a second season of this, but I doubt it.
Man, even if they are going for the second season, they should end the CIA storyline here and just come up with some more bad guys.
Yeah.
Once they have a lot more cannon fodder for Punisher to kill in fun ways.
I think that if they continue this on, it would be sort of like, all right, I'm going to just use this and protect myself indefinitely. And so he has an enemy there, but then they'll focus on something that's, some sort of beast that awoke from this whole ordeal.
Yeah.
Be it Russo, be it who knows.
Yeah, there's also that whole private military thing too. The Punisher needs sort of like a vague enemy that will never be defeated. I think we talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
It's sort of a never-ending, like, you could call it a personal hell, where it's just Sisyphus pushing up the boulder forever. A goal that will never be attained. Like, the original was, I have to defeat all of the mafia, and, it's just like, okay, Italian genocide, here we go. and then it's the CIA, and good luck with that.
Yeah.
So I think maybe if there is a second season, it would head towards private military things, which
or actual just like crime syndicates that like these guys are kind of like they're doing bad things, but they're doing bad things for arguably good reasons. They're not just, besides the mercenaries, they're not just in for the money versus crime people, like, they do good things for bad reasons. Mm-hmm. There is a subtle shift that...
What do you mean by crime people?
Like the mafia we were talking about, or like crime families, big crime organizations.
What good things are they doing?
Have you ever talked to people, like, especially like the 1940s, like gangsters?
Yeah, like in The Godfather, it was kind of like, they contribute to the local kind of thing, but then they also put a horse in your bed.
Yeah,
head.
Exactly. So like,
they just put a whole horse in your bed.
Wee!
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Important distinction that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in Punisher, there's no good aspect to that at all. In Punisher, there's no good aspect to that at all. But this has been kind of a different take on it, I think.
Yeah. I think that they can do a lot more with just bad people, as opposed to like, it's for our country! Just to like, no, he disrespected me, he gets killed. Like those sorts of villains.
There's plenty of different storylines from the original Punisher that they could use. They could use the slaver storyline, trying to take down some kind of sex trafficking ring.
Yeah, I want the one where he turns black.
When he turns black?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
I don't know. I have just heard it's the legendary one.
Wait, do you mean the one where he turns into a woman?
No, but now I want to see that one too. No, it's like he goes undercover or something as a black guy.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this earlier, but that's not what happened. He went undercover as a white supremacist. Not as a black guy.
No, I have heard from various sources about how he goes undercover as a black, like an actual black person.
Alright, I'll look this up and we'll see if we can talk about it next time.
Okay.
What else? What other storylines? There's the business storyline in which basically business people were doing awful things for the sake of raising stock, and Punisher had to work his way up the food chain with that. There's good old Barracuda. It'd be a really fun one to introduce. Barracuda is a very stereotypical black guy. Let's just say that.
I remember him.
Mm-hmm. And he's very, very big. He likes to say shit a lot. And he also likes to sing. And say the word motherfucking a lot.
Samuel L. Jackson, come on.
You didn't watch Luke Cage, did you?
Yeah.
So is he like the guy that runs the nightclub?
No, do you know who Bob Sapp is?
No.
Oh. Do you know who Brock Lesnar is?
Yes.
Imagine him as a black guy.
Okay.
That's basically...
Can he have gold teeth?
He does have gold teeth. His teeth actually...
Yes!
His teeth actually say, fuck you. In fact, the Punisher knocked some of the teeth out, and some...
I was gonna add with letters on them, but that was kind of a stretch.
Nope, he's got the
Oh,
letters.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cliche.
Yeah. And he, frankly doesn't feel pain. Like, in one scene, Punisher just, chops off his fingers with an axe, and he's just like, it's on now, motherfucker, it is on! So it'd be a fun one to add. What other storylines are there? He already took out the Irish, so we can't do the Kitchen Irish storyline. Revenge, there's plenty of...
But like we said, there will always be more mafia.
Yeah.
ISIS. I mean, seriously, there's so many different things.
Oh, that's good.
Punisher takes on ISIS?
I want to watch that.
Season 4.
Yeah.
Right.
Season 2 through 4.
All right. Next up, episode 12. We'll talk about the family being kidnapped.
Thank you for the raptor scream.
You're welcome.
Please don't do it again.
Well, that was fun.
So, something you might notice is that our voices are coming a little bit clearer. The reason why is that the audio files of us recording of episode 12 and 13 got bugged and basically erased.
Yay!
So, yeah.
Good news, bad news.
Yeah, so we gotta do this again, and we're tired. So...
The good news is, we know what's gonna happen. So...
all
that's
our theories are out
also
the window.
bad
all those
news.
theories are now, no one can hear them. God.
Just so you know, I was right.
No one will ever know how wrong John was. I was going to say me, but now I'm going to say you.
I was just like, all right, so Russo's going to wind up being some sort of reoccurring villain, and both
You
of them
did
are like,
say
no,
that.
you're stupid. They're going to wrap this all up. No, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. And then the next episode, oh man, okay, so let's finish one episode at a time.
Oh God, oh man.
Oh, man. So episode 12, it was just beautifully brutal. Oh, God, I loved that.
I threw up
You threw up?
a little bit.
It's because you suck. The way the Punisher dealt with One-Eyed Willie, just so beautiful.
And kind of to a lesser extent, PTSD.
PTSD?
Yeah,
Oh, with his family? Yeah. With his decision, I am home.
yeah. It was pretty good.
Yeah, you felt when he got injected with adrenaline. They did some really good work with special effects.
That was a great idea on One-Eyed Willie's part, by the way.
No, it wasn't.
Well, we're rooting against him, so it was a great idea.
That was after he stabbed him, right?
Yeah, after Willie got
So it's
stabbed.
just like, this is a dangerous guy
Yes.
that just did something that should have been impossible. Let's give him adrenaline.
What was the reasoning behind that?
Because
just
he was
wanted
going
him to be
unconscious.
awake?
Yeah, he wanted to be awake while he took out his eye.
I guess he's pretty impatient, huh?
Well, in his defense, he was kind of going mad with rage because he just got stabbed by a guy who was beaten half to death. So...
It was also the only guy that ever made him feel vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Before that.
Minus his gym coach.
He's the... never mind.
Yeah.
Time travel.
So, after Punisher knocked him out, I was hoping he was going to just take the other eye, but no. He took the other eye and the other eye that was already taken out.
Yeah.
Just so brutal. And what I really was alive.
Lots of eyes being taken out.
God of War.
Yeah. You both thought that, and I was like, oh yeah, that.
Plebeian. So what
Hey, sorry I don't like God of War.
You don't like it?
I don't hate it, but it's like, it's a game.
You slut. Anyway, back to the show.
Sorry, wait, how does me being a slut... How am I a slut for not liking more games?
Because God of War is very manly, and if you don't like it, all it means is you're a slut.
That doesn't make sense.
Sluts don't have to make sense.
But I'm saying you're not making sense.
I'm sorry, I can't hear...
And you just admitted that
I can't hear you over the sound of cocks in your mouth.
By saying that you don't... Oh, whatever.
Take the strangest penises out of your mouth, you sluts. So, back to the Punisher.
Well, there's only 2 people in this room, and I know both of them.
Cool. Speaking of penises... You know what was enjoyable? Wow, Nick really liked that. I found Nick's G-spot. So, how was micro sex scene? That was fun.
No, it wasn't. It
Yes,
was
it
just,
was.
Extended, that's how it was.
Yeah, it was way too long. And they
what
really
she
could have
said.
achieved the same, if not a better. Well, in my opinion, it would have been a better effect if Mrs. Micro was just like, "Come here," and the door shuts, and we continue to watch the Go Fish game, which I was somewhat invested in, actually. And like maybe before they went into the room, she says, "You got any nines?" And the kid's like, "No, I got them." And then the door closes, just to eliminate all things. But anyway, so then we watched the little, like the kids' gameplay out, because it was like solid 30 seconds of like, "Nope, not done yet," and then "Hi, you're done." You just like 30 seconds or so, and then also hear Micro go, "Oops." So that was just it was so awkward.
It was still fun, though. That was also kind of fun.
No,
Just
it
like,
wasn't.
"Daddy, you're alive?" "Not anymore."
Oh, yeah.
The
You're
longest
alive
running-
again? And the little kid just sat twitching for 5 minutes, and then he's like, "Hug."
The longest running ultimate dad joke.
April Fools.
April Fools.
Dad, stop it.
No.
Dad?
Dad?
April Fools! Dad?
And so moving on to episode 13, unless someone has anything else to add.
Whatever.
Yep. Episode 13, the final showdown between Frank and Evil Frank.
But before that,
Usopp, there we go.
the sniper fight in Blackman's apartment.
Black Man?
Yeah.
Okay, because you're saying Blackman like a name. It's Black
That's
Man.
not his name?
No. Like Blackman. Oh, Black Man. Okay. I got you, Nicholas.
I thought that was his name.
Yeah, that was...
Oh, man.
That was
I've
fun
been
of just
really
like...
racist this whole time.
Of like everybody knowing how the other person acts.
Yeah.
'Cause they were so close
Really,
together.
really good tactical... I wonder if Blackman knew that... I wonder if he was in on it.
He was winning with Frank. So that was the whole purpose, for him to get coffee, was to lure him from the window. I think they even said, "You knew?" And like, well, yeah. He's like, "All right, I'm taking this kind of personally."
I mean, did he? Was he?
Blackman knew about Frank.
About that he was there,
Yeah.
Okay.
or he was just like suspected strongly.
No, he knew. He
They
said
planned
something.
it out in advance.
Yeah. And so that's why he's like, "I'm gonna get coffee. You want coffee? And then here, take this coffee away from the window."
Yeah, that was That was fun. And to show that Russo, between that and episode 12, Russo still had some elements of honor in the stuff he
Yeah,
did.
but before he bled out the kids, like, yeah, there's honor in that. I'll meet you on a fair battleground, but first I'm going to go prepare it with
the fair
virgin sacrifices.
the fair battleground of your PTSD.
Yeah.
Escape.
And again, this was even better use of the effects.
Yeah, those
the way that they
horrible
showed
horses.
the PT. Yeah, like you zero in on those certain details, and I mean, just some great artistic direction there. I don't know if I've ever seen it displayed more accurately.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job with all that
Oh,
stuff.
did we say he got his skull back yet? I don't remember.
We did not, but he finally got his skull back.
Yay.
And then the people started to fall.
So that's what happens when Frank gets a skull. So that final fight was fun.
Yeah.
Just exciting all around, constant back and forth. And the way he dealt with who is going to become Jigsaw if there's a season 2, it was just so beautiful. You felt the pain as he was just dragging that face
that
across.
was so visceral.
Yeah. Just like he lost all sense of manly composure. Just like,
Yeah, and there was that moment where it got weird. Like, it was almost like, I don't want to kill you. But then it was like, no, I want you to suffer more. Like, I thought he was having like that friend moment.
Do it.
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh no, we're Marines. I'm looking at myself in the mirror. But then he's instead of finding humanity and looking at himself, he found suffering. He's just like, look at me, I've had to live through. It was just like, wow.
Yeah.
And you heard the glass breaking on his face and his face
Into
breaking
his
on
face.
the glass.
There
It
was
just,
glass
oh
sticking
my
out of it.
God.
oh god, just wonderful.
You weren't watching apparently, but I was.
I was watching. that was the way you want to end the Punisher season. Just nice
Yeah.
and painful. And then they gave enough leeway so that if he comes back, he'll be as Jigsaw, which is a recurring Punisher villain that Punisher just can't seem to kill. They were also talking about how he was like may have lost some brain composure, so he might be a little bit more psychotic.
Yeah, he might get jigsaw pieces of his memory. I like their idea that they seem like they're going to go with that. I also hope that they have that arc, like you said, he was just sort of in South America with doing his drug thing, and then Frank happens to be there, and he's like, oh no. I hope that's the angle they go with if they see him again.
No, he's never leaving New York.
Mm-hmm. Though the way they ended the season was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That felt awkward.
Well, time for me to go to therapy.
Uh-huh.
I'm scared.
I'm scared, guys. Group hug. Group hug.
Also, is he officially dead? As Frank Castle?
Yes.
He's been
and now
officially.
now
no.
he's Pete.
Yeah. Does anyone actually believe that in that group, that that's just Pete the Marine?
I'm Pete, guys.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were... No, Pete.
Frank, what?
I'm Pete.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
Pete Castle. I mean,
Hey, Frank.
I'm Pete.
Hey, Frank. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought you said Pete. Frank Castle? What? Oh, I thought you said Pete Castiglione. These ears, man.
That
Yeah.
was just a really weird ending. It made me feel... bleh.
So if they do a Punisher season 2, they'll have to...
Make
They'll
him
need-
not scared?
They need to have another, like, oh shit moment to have the Punisher come back as the Punisher.
Oh, right. I don't know if I said this yet. That the way that they played this out was actually done fairly well, because they had him throw away the skull at the beginning, which showed him as sort of like a man of integrity in a way.
Yeah.
Like, my job's done, that's it. Then he went through life, and even after he decided to basically go back to punishing, there was no body count.
That's my job.
There was no body count. And it wasn't until his friend Russo, a pimp named Slickback, betrayed him that it broke his world, like the original Break, that he donned the skull and then the bodies flew.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like every superhero needs like a kryptonite, and needs something that gives them their power. Frank he gets his power from being trained as a Marine, and almost like the Naruto mind switch is off. Like, usually there's a switch in someone's mind that's just like, oh, okay, maybe I need to chill. Frank, that's gone when he has this Punisher skull, and he just is, because he doesn't have that gauge, he just does stuff.
It's called PTSD. His
So
superpower.
he has to remain just the right amount of absolutely shattered and the right amount of lucid. And so they, throughout this entire season, found that, what did you call it, Nick's G-spot?
Yeah.
That perfect spot. Yeah, that's what he said. And, yeah. So, anyways, final impressions.
Final impressions, I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10, mainly because the middle was just really slow-paced. And you can tell, like, they knew that people were gonna binge it, and so that's why they did it. Because if they did that on a weekly show, it was gonna lose ratings fast.
Yeah.
So, but I'm hoping, since all the groundwork is laid out, if they do a season 2, to give it a nice little 10 out of 10, and just go straight to the ass kicking.
No, I doubt it. They're gonna have to... They'll
Have
probably
fluff?
start slow again.
They'd rather not.
Well, they have to work a way to get him back in.
Yeah. Alright, so Nick, out of 10, how much are you gonna give it?
Oh, out of 10 is overrated.
Out of 10.
Out of 5, what did I say last time? I think I said I like 3.5 or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so 7.
7 out of 10. That's Nick's answer.
Okay, and so out of a star, I'll give it maybe a square. Out of 1, I'll give it 0.75.
Alright.
Okay.
So 7.5 out of 10. Since we're all using the same metrics, we're not doing this American shit.
American what?
Yeah, American decides to just use its own thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also Tunisia.
And
Or was it Libya?
I don't know, some
No,
country that doesn't matter.
it's just 2 countries.
Country that's not America, so they don't matter.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sorry for the slightly quicker than usual episode 12 and 13.
But you're welcome for the quality.
Yes. High quality.
We don't know when we're going to do something like this again. Whenever something of real interest comes up, let us know how you liked it. And if you didn't, we'll stop. But if you did, we'll continue.
You can let us know how much you liked it
At
Stop licking yourself! What are you doing?
Cleaning.
Stop licking yourself!
I don't remember it.
You can
Nick
let
is the
us
slut.
know about the high quality of our performance at
the
Teacast at thedragonstreasure.com.
Teacast
I already said it.
at the
Too
Dragon's
late.
Flow.
You're invalid.
Johnston, you slut now. You two can go slut it out.
No.
So see you next time at the Slutfest.
No, we're not going into that this year.
You speak for yourself. I'll find my waifu.
I will never stop for me. Los Angeles.